The Shroom Mother, a 50 grams of fresh penis envy mushrooms trip report uploaded to the Shroomery forum 6 years and 1 month ago by lapse of reason. Before sharing my trip bits with you, I need to say that I am not experienced with mind-altering substances. Weed has been visiting my lungs around 3 to 4 times in my life, but that's about it. I've been challenging my own mind though in different other ways, like in silent retreats and physical challenges to the body, lying on a block of ice until it melts, etc. I'm a mental health professional, working with children. I have a loving family and a good life. My reason to use shrooms was to challenge my mind and surrender to a spiritual experience. A friend acquainted me to the shrooms and I decided I want to grow them myself, which I did. The strain was penis envy. This friend is experienced, or so he claimed, with LSD, shrooms and other hallucinogens. After a 4-month preparation time, reading a lot and talking to fellow psychiatrists, as well as reading studies on Psilocybin, etc., and growing the penis envies, we agreed to meet up at his apartment. He also wanted to invite other people he knew, and I didn't. I wasn't happy about that, as I did not want to trip around strangers. As a matter of fact, I was actually feeling tripping alone, but I did not want to appear as an ass towards my friend. This friend is a good soul, but I still didn't feel 100% comfortable with him around. There's no real coherence what the trip is concerned, but bits of in and out of our worlds. I used to think of this experience as being a ride between the outer world, what happened to me outside of me during the trip, and my inner world, which was the trip itself. What happened outside is rather an indicator of a bad trip, and proved to be a very bad idea to trip with this friend. My inner world in this first experience of the shrooms was actually pure bliss and hell, and purgatory and enlightenment, and I would not want to miss it a bit. My English is not my mother tongue, so please excuse my partial awkward use of the language. Setting: apartment, dogs were around, sunny beautiful day. Ingestion: on an empty stomach, 50 grams of penis envy, fresh. I will now describe my own trip, the perceptions of my inner world. Afterwards, I will describe what, according to the others, my friend, his mates, the police and hospital, happened in the outer world. Most of the trip I have lost completely the notion of who and where I am. Track of time and space and contact with reality altogether has been lost. This trip occurred about 2 years ago, and I can say that my personality changed for the better ever since. I am planning to meet with the mother mushroom again someday though. I ate the whole 50 grams fresh all at once. The effect was almost instant. 10 minutes into that and I was laughing hysterically, realising that I just can't think straight anymore. My friend ingested some but could not eat them due to the taste. Drank some milk and, according to my recollection, he did not take more than 10 grams fresh. We went to the darkened bedroom. Put some music on and I lay under a blanket as I felt very cold. The dog was warming me up and I hugged her, feeling a heartbeat with my palm. The friend, I'll call him A, lied down and told me to listen to the music and breathe. Took 20 minutes into the journey and I had vivid open eye hallucinations. A was morphing into his dog. His arms were turning hairy and ugly. I closed my eyes and found myself into lots of patterns and doors, corridors and strange figures like gnomes with theatrical expressions and textures. Lots of colours were abundant, vivid animation. I opened my eyes and the room was beautiful, filling up with 3D patterns moving around. A went to the bathroom and I asked him why I didn't eat everything. He replied in an angry tone that I should relax. He does not want my bad vibes. "Do I need to kill you to shut up?" he said. I was scared at this, but drifted fastly into my own reality. I must say, he never talked to me like that before. We were never involved in a relationship or something closer than friendship. After a while, he asked me to go to the other room and bring him water. We had plenty of water around though, but I stood up and tried to fetch him a cup. I started to laugh about how slow I was thinking and processing language. Then I felt how my eyes just watered incredibly, pouring with rain. I didn't feel sad, just a bit lonely. I asked my friend if I can hold his hand, and he gave it to me. Then I only remember that I wanted the dog, to hug and feel safe as I began to feel paranoid. The more I got into the trip, the more I began to lose it. I went to my bag and took a bottle of water out I had brought with me and drank it. Then I realised this water bottle is the only thing reminding me of my reality before the trip. I tried hard to concentrate on what else was real outside of my trip. The dog. Yes, the dog is real. Good, relax. Focus on the breathing. Paranoia again. What if I drown in my water? Nah, my water is real. Who am I? Am I water? Sure, I come from water. Is death water? Such a thought. I didn't fight it. I just remembered the advice not to let myself get trapped by the visuals. So I tried opening my eyes and looking at my hands. I couldn't even see them. Instead, all I saw were patterns, blurred music, the texture of the dog morphing with A. Scary shit. I didn't want to stay in the darkness anymore, so I went to the sunny room. The darkness looked like hell. Paranoia again. Everybody I love and care for must be involved in magic mushrooms. Now I am in the infinite labyrinth of the mycelium, and there's only a loop of time with no escape. I pictured my family members, friends, and colleagues, and had plausible associations of how all of them were all involved with the mushroom conspiracy. The fixed idea, if I ever get out of this loop, I need to initiate others into this, i.e. my children, to come into the mushroom labyrinth. At this point, I was sure that the whole point of maturing is to get into the mycelium of the mushroom and be born again in there. I was grateful, but also not content enough. I remember going down to the floor and sticking my tongue out like a snake. I was a scary and morphing creature that inhabited this mushroom world. It all made sense. That life and death begins and ends with the mushroom. My reverence for them was so huge that I paced between the sunny room and the dark room, thinking I am in the underground, and then I raise above the ground like the shrooms do. On the floor in the sunny room, I felt how good it is to be alone. I had a sense I understood all the films of Kubrick and Bergman, and that I am in the 50s in New York, trapped in a film scene as another person. I pitched my mole, I have one on my chest, and said, "This is her mole, but it's not me." I was completely lost in space and time at this moment. Everything was strange. There was no contact going on with A. At some point I wanted to go to the bathroom to pee, but I needed to go through the other dark room where A was. I think he was masturbating, so I apologised for disturbing and went to the bathroom. On the toilet, I realised that I needed to pee a lot. I would stand up and go down again, then put my hand in my mouth as if I wanted to eat myself. I thought I was a sort of Mobius band, a never-ending cycle of life and death. At this point, time was running so fast that I saw my past life and realised I was speeding into the future. The future was my death. I crawled on the floor and waited to die. I was not afraid. I stuck the hand in my mouth deep and waited that I ingest myself. But I realised I pissed on the body I was wearing and thought, what the hell? I don't want to get out of my going to the future. I speeded even more to the future, and some voice was stopping me, telling me that if I want to go to the future, then I will need to slow down and go to the past. This is where I started to freak out. I did not want to go back. I was told I needed to go to the pain of the Holocaust if I want to get into the light. I need to go back to where man was born, to the ape stadium, and even more backwards until I become a spore. I am not allowed to die forwards. I need to die backwards, the voice said. I fought it off with my breathing. I was convinced that if I keep being the sunlight and breath, that time will just hold still and I can die forward in the future. I did not want to go back to the Holocaust, because I knew I would be Hitler. Sorry for this thought. A is half Jewish. I don't want to be Hitler and kill all them people. I refused that. I looked at my hands. They were turning hairy and I was morphing into an ape. And then, all of a sudden, I was in New York again, realising my husband has died in the war. I took all my clothes off and started to see some people I did not know in the flat. Holy shit, these are my employees, I thought, and they helped me grieve my dead husband. They slapped me and hit me, and I was lying on the floor. I thought I'm dying again. In this film too. The people were mean and shouted. One sprayed something on me, but I couldn't find a face. One poured water over me. Another one laughed at my mid-40s used-up woman's body. I felt attacked from all directions and told everybody shouting, I love you all. Look, my grief is only pure love, look at it. I asked one of the people if I may touch them. I needed comfort, but they just continued to scream at me and I felt a hard blow on the head. My head began shrinking and my bones were softening as well. Felt like my skull was being born into another reality, and I thought, oh, that's relieving. I don't like to be trapped in this reality with those jerks around. They tried to make me swallow some pills and then some coffee. I told them to let me finish my journey and just comfort me. Please hold me. I love you. I love all of you. Then I was begging for them to be quiet. Dogs were barking wildly. Metallic sounds were disturbing me, and I lost orientation if it's the past or whether it's the future I'm going into. I was being laughed at and humiliated, and I thought my skull was trying to get through the birth canal into a reality of a mother that was Gaia, our earth goddess, but these people were holding me back. At some point, I turned around, I was still naked, and thought, if I concentrate on the time and on my breathing, they'll disappear. Quiet. Partly, reality was settling in. Policemen were arresting me and putting handcuffs on. I was still tripping hard. I woke some 2.5 hours later, perfectly lucid at the hospital. I left right away. After talking to my friend about what happened, he reported that he called the friends and they showed up. That was the moment I was freaking out, and they were the ones trying to calm me down by spraying a deodorant in my face and giving me coffee and cigarettes. Just as a side note, what the fuck, why would you spray deodorant into someone's face to calm them down? I mean, if someone did that to me, I'd be fucking kicking off big time. They hit me in the head and I had pain for days, even though no one admits having done that. They wanted me to shower, but I was paranoid that they wanted to drown me. My friend was pretty angry with me because of punching his friend in the face. It turned out to have been a very bad idea to have strangers coming in while tripping so hard. Outcome. All in all, I am very grateful of this experience. Overcoming the pain of death, being part of a circle of life in the fractal universe, and feeling so much love despite all of the humiliation and beatings is something so strong, and it still sticks with me to this day. Even so many years have passed now, and I still feel very grounded, and was not angry with what my friend did or said. But I am sure now, that next time I'm tripping, I will choose other people to be around. I need to have a sit that is mentally much stronger than A is, to be in my own environment as well, and to try and exclude any external distress around me. The police and hospital action were, looking back, a great lesson of overcoming my anxiety towards authority. I am much more self-confident now than when I needed to deal with them. I know that I need to go back to the Mother Mushroom, as I feel that I was disturbed in the contemplation of that infinite world between darkness and light. But right now, I'm not prepared to do that yet. Love and peace, Elena.